So the movie I chose for this assignment was The Matrix, and basically The Matrix follows the main character Thomas Anderson through some major events. In the beginning, he's a programmer at a programming company and a hacker at night, and he gets known by the name Neo, which is his hacker name. He's always felt that there's something fundamentally wrong with the world that he lives in. He's never quite felt the same as everyone else who seems to just kind of go with the flow of the universe. And then he is contacted by a mysterious man named Morpheus and woman Trinity, who then tell Neo the truth of, what's really going on with the universe. Morpheus offers Neo a choice between waking up in the real world and remembering nothing that has happened, or he can see the truth of their universe and what actually goes on in their universe. And this is the decision that Neo chooses to create. Upon making this decision, Morpheus explains that Neo is somewhat of a prophet to the people. He's supposed to be special in the way that he can control the Matrix when he's inside of that. So they embark on their mission of confirming that Neo is this one, and visit an oracle who prophesizes about the future to Neo. And in the end, there's a somewhat of a final showdown in which Morpheus is captured and Neo and Trinity have to go rescue her. So the question I chose to answer first was question 1, which basically talks about when Neo wakes up when Neo is taken into custody by the agents. They insert a weird bug into him, and now after they put this bug into him and close up his face and all that, he just wakes up back in his bed, like nothing happened. So upon waking up, Neo questions whether it was even real, if the dream was real or he was literally just dreaming. So the question asks, do you think he's assuming that it's false, that he's been bugged, as would be the case with the rebutting defeater, or do you think he's just questioning whether or not he's actually been bugged, as would be the case of the undercutting defeater? And I think Neo's response fits a lot more closely with the undercutting defeater. When he wakes up, he's questioning whether or not he's been bugged. I don't think he assumes that it's false that he's been bugged. I think he's already had some doubt about reality to begin with, from the start of the film, and I think this is kind of all just pushing him towards the realization that reality isn't what he seems. So through this experience and waking up in his own bed, I think it really shakes up what he thinks reality is, which is more of a case of an undercutting defeater, because he's questioning whether he's been bugged. He doesn't think it's false. He doesn't assume that it's false. I think there is quite the question in his mind whether or not what he experienced was real or not. And even when he proclaims that the bug, when he proclaims oh, that was real, I think that was him finally moving over to the side of fully questioning reality. I think he'd always been on the edge, kind of teeter-tottering back and forth as the movie progressed. But I think at that moment, he kind of finally made his full decision that the reality he's been living in isn't what it seems and is the Matrix. It confirms suspicions rather than completely undermining what he believes. So I think that fits a lot more clearly with undercutting the defeater rather than rebutting the defeater. The second question I chose for this was the question number 4, which was based on the oracle's conversation with Neo. Do you think the universe and the Matrix must be one way or the other, deterministic or indeterministic, or is it instead unclear? And for this question, I think it's really unclear. I think the oracle herself provides insights into the future, which would suggest some form of determinism, because if she's able to see into the future, things must be set in stone before they would happen, which is what determinism is. Though she proposes Neo's future as a choice. She says that he'll have to choose between Morpheus dying or him dying. And this shows some aspect of free will. And I think the whole character progression of Neo learning how to control the Matrix really shows that there is some aspect of free will, and Neo unlocks that full potential of free will through his transformation throughout the movie and becoming the person who can bend the Matrix in any way he sees fit. I think the Matrix is really more of like a compatibilist approach. I think there can be some aspects of indeterminate and determinate in this universe. I think it's clear that there is some deterministic points from the Oracle, but I think it also really muddies the water with the way Neo progresses and shows his free will in the Matrix and exercises, and through the choice that the Oracle offers to Neo, showing that there is some form of free will. I think they can both coexist, and I think they do coexist in this universe. And I think the film really explores the tension between the two, but doesn't really offer a clarifying solution in the end.